everyone, and welcome back to Banishers Ghosts of New Eden. So guess what? We are officially 3 videos away from the end of this playthrough. I told you guys that I would get it done, and I got it done. So this is the last story haunting. Once I complete this, the other hauntings that crop up are just side hauntings, just like with the other places. It's just, if you want to complete them, you can complete them, and you'll get a nice little achievement for it. But after this, basically, it's just the story mission. So the story mission after this is essentially go back to Saban and Seeker's Island and just essentially try to go through the void. And then, of course, once you go through the void, make your way to New Eden and lift the curse and resurrect Antea. Hopefully, I think we have all the stuff to be able to resurrect her.
How refreshing it is to the soul to be at once thus delivered of that which was. One thing above all else, my friends, is true. The wicked are at odds with themselves.
Oh, good. His latest sermon. We haven't missed it.
The Lord's promise of salvation from hell pleases them. The Lord's salvation from misery and sin here on earth does not.
This doesn't look like salvation from misery and sin.
The wicked pray for deliverance from the fires of hell, while piling the kindling high. They proclaim their love for their Lord, yet, in his name, they serve themselves. Their self-regard crumbles in the light of their hateful iniquities.
So true.
Mr. McCraith, my friend, I'm so glad you agree. Now, the wicked man never questions...
I have your answers.
What? Yes, good. Perhaps we should discuss this privately, if you'll give me just a moment.
It's quite the story. You might not wish to hear it. Neither may the good people hear.
Please, this is not the time.
We want to hear the story. Let the Banisher speak.
Tell them, Red. Tell them good.
Aye. There's a story that starts with a question. A question for you, Governor. And maybe for all the good people of New Eden. If I give you a witch, will you do what you did to Deborah Comenius?
Comenius, say you? The school teacher walked with the devil and paid the appropriate price. That's the beginning of the history and also its end.
Is it, though? Now, I've learned much about Deborah Comenius and what happened to her, and it tells a very different tale.
And what story, pray you, does it tell?
It tells the story of a man, a latter-day King Solomon. When plague struck his subjects, they turned to him for guidance and protection, for they were God-fearing folk, and he was a godly king. The king's captain walled the sick away, but the plague spread on. The people grumbled. The king thought he might fall. He needed a sacrificial lamb.
You lose the run of your tongue, Mr. McCraith, and of the head to which it's fixed. There was no lamb. There was a trial, fair and lawful.
The trial was not fair. You had no proof, and you knew it.
Credible witnesses gave believable testimony, sir.
Witnesses like Gibbs, who pressured you into a guilty verdict to avoid being suspected of witchcraft yourself.
There was pressure, I'll not deny it. But I did what I did to protect the colony. It was a difficult time.
The picture of yourself that you hold in your mind is that of a great occultist.
To repel the devil, the wise and fearless man must learn the Black Spy's tricks.
Do you then consider yourself a true demonologist?
In order that a war be just, 3 things are necessary. Firstly, the authority of the sovereign. Secondly, a just cause. Thirdly, a rightful intention.
Aye, the Summa Theologiae of St. Thomas Aquinas, a classic quote from which you have conveniently omitted an important detail. To wit, a just cause is required, namely that those who are attacked should be attacked because they deserve it on account of some fault. Have you ever wondered what lies beyond the veil, past the hem, beyond the invisible? Have you ever heard of the Arrowloo?
What gibberish is this?
No? Your good friend Etienne Roulet did not, it seems, deign you worthy of his secrets. Never mind. You're a pompous coward, fearful of anyone different, as human as that is.
There must be a man to judge, or there is no order. A man to make the judgment, and a man to enforce it. Of all people, you know this.
I live and let live. I choose only for the dead.
I choose for the living. These people are sinners, sir, and must be led back to the light. This is my mandate, my duty.
What do you really want, Governor?
I wish only to serve. I am the trusted servant of the good people of New Eden. Without me, they're lost.
Without them, you would be lost.
Yes. Maybe I do need them. Very human of me. But these people undoubtedly need me, Mr. McCraith. And there is no one else.
Admit it. You toy with magic you don't understand.
You, sir, are jealous.
I, sir, am tired. I've done my job, fulfilled my contract, I've found the source of the curse. The poison below the well is no more. No thanks to you.
Aha! Poison it was, then. The weapon of the wicked, to weaken the people's will. What was it? Belladonna, hemlock, foxglove?
Betrayal. Truth unspoken. Secrets and lies. Wrongs, basically. Your wrongs. The wrongs you visited upon Deborah Comenius. The wrongs that led to her death.
She died at the hand of the body politic. She died at all our hands. Most of all, she died at her own.
She died because she would not submit.
'Twas not my plan to kill her, stupid, stubborn woman. Why did she not confess? I would have granted clemency. I would have shown her mercy.
You had the power to stop the madness, but instead you chose to let it run all the way to its barbaric conclusion. You brought the curse down on New Eden. Then you called we Banishers in to fix your mistake. You boast of your knowledge of demons and spirits, but in truth, you master nothing. You're a peacock. All show and no meat. I'm not here today to bring justice. But this man, your governor, brought death to your doors. He deserves blaming. And shame on me if I don't do it. Elspeth!
friends. Have I ever not served the interests of our community? Have I not protected you? Have I not loved you?
Death to the dead.
This is unfair.
Is the evil gone for good?
Far from it.
Then who will protect us?
I will. While Mr. McCraith fights the curse of New Eden, I will protect the people of the Harrows. Or at least, I'll try. Now let's all return to our homes and pray for forgiveness and the strength to bear the consequences of our actions. Your fee. One of the many debts my father left me.
You'd best put your own debts first, young Master Haskell.
Don't I know it?
After all this, don't forget to rest.
So, what now?
What did Ceridian say when we first met her?
Once we'd weakened the Nightmare's influence, we could use the Void to enter its lair.
Deborah's grip on the settlers has diminished. We'll return to Ceridian's island. From there, the Void Breach will take us back to New Eden Town.
Just like that, eh?
Well, yes, just like that. Something bothering you?
But aren't we rushing things a little?
We've lost too much time already. We have a nightmare to confront, remember? Sometimes I hate the world. Another free woman, bright, sensitive, kind, murdered by a craven rabble too weak to face its own mediocrity. Cowards hiding behind fake virtue, and for what? They won't even say her name. Why? Why her?
They know no better. They know only fear and hate what they cannot understand.
Especially when a woman is involved.
It matters not now anyway.
A woman died for nothing and it matters not?
What matters is what we do now. Which wrong we set right.
I've taught you well. When I left Cuba, anything could have befallen me. I was bright, free, talented. Though I had the wrong tongue, the wrong sex, the wrong skin. I defied life. I expected so much more from the world. I was arrogant. Arrogant to believe I needed no one. To shut out my mother and experience curandera and listen instead to my sister.
Your childhood friend. What happened?
I had little and wanted more. A dangerous thing when you have our type of talent. Anything could have befallen me, but it didn't.
But something did happen. Something happened to Deborah. And then something happened to you, and now we are both paying that price.
You still have your life.
What's it worth if it's plagued by the murder of all those I killed?
We made a choice, Rory. You made it willingly.
Aye, I did. Look, all this, it's a lot to endure. We're both exhausted. I know I am.
I cannot tire.
I know. I know how hard it's been for you.
You have no idea. None at all.
I'll do my best to understand, if you'll let me. We should have faith. Look at us. We'll get to where we're going.
Shut up, Red. Shut up. This isn't about what we have conquered or what we have achieved or how far we have journeyed. Look at us. Look at me. I loathe what I've become. Can't you see that?
I was trying to help. I'm sorry.
Stop apologizing. Good night.
Antea. I would have gone with you. Not funny. I have to walk to the stupid bloody island.
There you are. Ready to go?
I just got here. Can we talk? Why did you leave me alone?
You are not alone. Can we go now?
How come it's not working?
Let's ask Seeker. This all has to end, and I'd rather it was sooner than later.
I am doing my best, my love.
There's a spectral web here, but it's new. It's stronger, but I think I can do it.
Oh, easy there.
This'll only take a moment. See?
Well, throwing my weapons through your will is a little unsettling. The spell isn't working. I think she's gone.
The incarnate is hidden away here. Stains bar the path.
Have I mentioned how I know I am of you?
Go on. Onwards.
Oh there! How can she find anything in this mess?
Is that really what's important right now?
She draws well. Manual on how to hide from men.
Wish I had one.
Why is there a letter from Deborah Comenius here?
And who's Grace? No way back to New Eden Town, and no Seeker either. Our only clue points to Kate Newsmith. Maybe she knows this Grace, and where to find her.
On again, huh? Get to this one.
Shall we dance then?
Always.
This feels good.
It likes us much.
So we are officially now in the end game story missions. Uh, these are kind of like, if you haven't already unlocked things, this is your opportunity to do so. If you haven't unlocked a fast travel location that's close by to where you need to go because you didn't do any of the side huntings or you didn't do any of the activities, this is your opportunity to do so. So essentially, from here on out till the end, they are giving you time to complete any activities that you need to do. For time's sake, I went ahead and did the last side hauntings in the Harrows, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. The only thing left after doing those side missions was basically doing activities, which is, like, can you help me find something? Can you go to this location and kill the specters that are here because they're messing with, like, our fishing lines? Can you help me with my speech in terms of, like, lamination? So I went ahead and I did a few of them. There's like 4 left. But if I'm going to do them, they're going to be when I'm not recording, which is what I did with the side quest.
Is it worse to lose your faith in your fathers than it is to lose faith in yourself? Those in the Harrows who lived would be wise to look inwards, to reflect, and then to pay penance. But none carry a greater burden than young Lamentation Haskell. How will he guide the faltering faithful when he has so little faith in himself?
Camp is a camp no longer. It's a village. Does the day find you well, Madam Doctor?
As well as it can, Mr. McWraith. And I have a banisher to thank for it.
You're welcome. Let's not make a habit of it.
My word before God on it.
I've something for you. Art stuff.
Oh, I may draw once more. And to think I once thought you useless.
I usually get by on charm, style, and general good looks, but occasionally I can be of service. Let us talk of something else. The world about us, for example.
I get the feeling you're about to try and sell me some nonsense or other, but all right, we can talk.
What can you tell me about thick-skinned New Smith?
I liked her. She was strong, pragmatic, a good leader, and a terrible patient. I understand the choice she made. I can almost respect her for it. But I can't forgive her. Nicholas is dead now, because of her.
Kate Newsmith. Quite the character, eh?
Quite the character indeed. I'm enjoying her leadership. She talks, and that's new. She has vision. She'd have us leave here for somewhere better. God give her the strength to be a better leader than her sister. I'm proud of her.
How are your patients doing? How fares the camp?
I hesitate to say it, but lately I have fewer patients. Perhaps they sicken less, perhaps they trust me less. God knows, and I'll leave it to him. Me, I feel alive. For the first time in a very long time.
Whatever else we've done, here at least, we've done some good.
I should go.
I'll wish you luck, if you believe in it.
Kate, good day to you. Good to see you back in business.
Red McWraith, what can I do for you?
It's time we talked of Deborah.
Yes, it is.
How did you meet?
I'll not answer that. It's the moment of my life I cherish most. Words would only fail it. I will say this, despite my grief. For a time, I laid my head on Deborah Comenius's bosom. And for that, I'll be forever grateful.
What happened to her?
Pennington levelled accusations against her. Vile accusations. Many delighted in them. She was clever. She was free. She cherished the truth, of the mind and of the heart. Some took that for godlessness. But I've never met a person more divine.
Her ghost appeared when we downed the beast. Have you seen her since?
God save me, no. My heart would not bear it. Might it happen yet?
I don't believe she wished to frighten you. I doubt she'll bother you again. She has business elsewhere.
If ever you should deal with Deborah, deal quick. Let her not suffer long. For her sake, and for mine.
How is your sister?
She's gone. When I told of what she'd done, she had no choice but to leave.
Will you make peace?
I don't know. She sent friends and neighbours to their deaths. I'd like to think she'd not have done the same to me. But I'll never know for sure.
Did telling the truth serve you?
The truth is dangerous. Not least to she who tells it. But the cut is clean. The rot is gone. Her lies can harm us no more.
I'm trying to track someone down, and I was hoping you could help me.
I doubt I'll be much use, but I'll help you if I can.
So, I found your name in an old letter. It was addressed to someone by the name of Grace. It was written by Deborah Comenius.
You're tenacious, I'll give you that. But must you push so?
Deborah wrote of a cabin in the woods. Could this Grace person have found it?
I don't know. It was all a very long time ago. I had forgotten her.
Did Grace ask you for help?
No. Grace Pennington vanished. No one ever saw her again.
Grace Pennington? As in Captain Saul Pennington?
What happened to Grace?
I don't know that either. There had been strife with her father. Then she was gone. And the captain spoke of her no more.
Deborah wrote the letter in February 1688. When did Grace disappear?
Months later, Pennington accused Deborah of being a witch. In my recollection, that moment overshadows all others.
What did Grace look like?
I remember her thin and boyish, encumbered by dresses she hated to wear.
That sounds like Seeker.
Does the name Seeker mean anything to you?
It sounds less a name than a calling, but neither mean anything to me. We done.
One more question. Did the school teacher keep a cabin in the woods?
Deborah spent much time walking the woods, trying to understand New Eden, she said. Now that you mention it, I remember a snowstorm. She spent 3 days in a hut not far from here. Southeast, across the drawbridge, along the path towards the mine. If it's still there.
Goodbye to you, Huntress. I look forward to seeing things improve, now that you're in charge.
Thank you, Red. Travel safe.
Things look better here. Helen is working out.
Banishers.
Good day. You look well, Mrs. Priest.
We struggle on. But yes, I feel better.
What can you tell me about a young woman by the name of Grace?
It seems you already know some of the story. It was a long time ago, but I'll do my best to fill in the gaps.
What happened to her?
As I heard it told, one day Grace just wasn't there anymore.
How was their relationship?
I believe it was stormy, as you'd expect between a commander and his disobedient daughter. I do think he loved her, but as far as anyone ever saw, he never shed a single tear for her.
Later, after he exiled her, did the captain try to find his daughter?
Not to my knowledge. He did not set off in search of her, nor did he send men. At the time, I thought it strange. Still do. I'll never understand how a man could reject his only daughter. And that, my inquisitive Banisher friends, is all I know about the matter.
How are you doing, Helen?
My days are quiet. Some are better than others. At times, I am grateful for the memories. At others, they feel like fingers clamped upon my throat. I'm still learning to live around my grief.
We're very sorry for your loss.
As am I.
Running this fort on your own can be no easy task. How are things going?
Busy. Vardy Miller has been on my case about opening more trading routes. We're all trying to make do, and he's trying to make work. Mind you, it's not a half-bad idea. We need the supplies. I've sent letters to the Harrows, but had no reply. I wish I knew why.
We had a little disagreement with the governor. You may wait a little longer for your letter.
I see. New Eden is losing its selectmen. A terrible thing, of course. Still, new broom sweep cleaner and all that.
Take care of yourself, Helen.
I will. No one else seems to want to.
Like I said, this story mission is basically like if you have any unfinished business in these areas, anything that you haven't found, any like breakable walls, treasure maps, specter nest, anything like that. If you haven't finished or completed it, now is your time to do so. Because once you go through that void, you're not going to get any essences to level you up. It's basically just going to be like a straight shot to the end after you leave the void.
Symbols. The hut may be near. I sense magic. Could Seeker be here?
That's not.
Standing by.
I'm gonna go ahead and say my goodbyes now because we do an investigation at the end, and so there's a lot of talking. So I want to kind of go ahead and just thank you guys so much for joining me for this video, and thank you so much for sticking with me as I played through this game. This is a 50-hour game, at least in my experience, and I've only recorded 33 hours of those 50s. So you can imagine what the other 20 hours were, which was basically me exploring the map, doing activities and hauntings and all that, you know. But thank you so much for joining me for it. I know you guys that are waiting on pins and needles, on tenterhooks, for my continuation of playing through the Resident Evil series. And I'm basically going to spend the rest of the summer recording and editing and getting those ready so that at the very least I can start releasing videos for RE2 Remake in July. But I do need to finish Alone in the Dark, and I know that Alone in the Dark is not a terribly long game. I feel like I'm already halfway through it. I think it's probably about like maybe 10 hours, maybe 15 hours, but it's definitely not a like super long game like this one where I just literally spent 50 hours playing through here. So with that being said, again, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that you guys have a good rest of your day. See you later. Bye.
This can't be a coincidence. Could Grace be Seeker? Dusty. Seeker hasn't been here for a long time.
Anyone home? Quite the fall from grace.
That's not funny, and neither is this.
Aye, fair enough. Fine wardrobe for a youngster.
They're rags.
And they won't help us find her. Aye. Deborah knew about this place.
Focus on the matter at hand, Red.
I am.
More demonology. Unusual for a witch. These two schools of magic don't usually see eye to eye. Perhaps Lammy could help us with the spell. Seeker drew this. Now we know. She's in the mountains. There's a ritual of dissimulation, and we need the catalyst. The circle powers the door, but I don't know the symbol. I don't know it, but I think Lammy might. We did well to come here. Now we know where she's hiding. Soon we'll be able to use the pond. All we need is the key to the dissimulation spell, and Lammy Haskell will help us with that.
Sure.
Friends, have I ever not served the interests of our community? Have I not protected you? Have I not loved you?